Hello viewers and welcome to another news video then. I thought I'd go through some of the news over the past week and come back on a few of your comments as well. First news of course this week was that Auto Club Revolution is finally being released. They've released a new trailer which is looking very nice, and it's a game which we were going to take a look at late last year, then early this year, and it's something that I do have some content planned for it eventually. I've been kind of one of those games I've been kind of waiting to form over the past year. I think I played it early last year and I felt the game needed a lot more development time, and that showcasing it wasn't really in a fit state really at that point. The game's moved on an awful long way since. It looks a lot better now, it's a lot more fun to play, and it's something that I'm going to be looking at in the next couple of months. So there is going to be some more Auto Club Revolution footage on the channel. The other thing of course is Gran Turismo. There's an event on the 15th of May at Silverstone Racetrack. A few of you asking if I'll be there or not. I have no idea at the moment. I'm doing my best to get along. But either way, we're expecting to see Gran Turismo 6 released for the PS3. That's the expectation. I think if Gran Turismo 6 was coming out for the PS4, it's likely they'd have held it back till E3. So it's certainly something which is anticipated, highly anticipated. What more can they get out of the PS3? Probably quite a bit after 3 more years of development. They've no doubt learnt a lot about the system, improved the way they do things. I think Gran Turismo 6 is going to be the game Gran Turismo 5 was meant to be, and no doubt they'll already have a team simultaneously working on the new PS4 versions as well. Of course, PS4, we're expecting Drive Club to be the launch title. Now that takes us neatly on to Drive Club, and you can see here the new screenshots, which are I think looking very impressive. I think the game looks very impressive at the moment. There's been all this debate on forums about does it look any better than GT5 or Forza in photo mode. Photo mode's completely irrelevant at the moment. Real time is what it's all about. We do see this a lot in games, don't we? Look how amazing it looks in photos, and then you see the actual game and it's all right. It's not got the same realism. You know, you look at the photo and you say, wow, you know, those tyres look like real life, and then you see the actual game and it looks like, well, a game. But either way, I think that this will showcase the new power. I think people are kind of confused when they say, oh, it's like a PC from years ago. No, this will be better graphics than you've seen on a lot of games, because they've never made games for the PC sort of dedicated in that way. This is something whereby these games will really utilise this hardware, and it will look very impressive indeed. So I'm keen to see how it looks, but I think ultimately gameplay wise it's certainly sounding a bit shallow. So if you're after anything depth and simmy, it may not be for you, but we'll have to wait and see. We won't know anything until E3. And I will try and get a hands-on as well to try and get you guys some more feedback and footage on that. Next thing really is MotoGP. Of course, we saw the MotoGP trailer, racing around America. We saw the menus, which I think look very polished. MotoGP, biking games are a very misunderstood genre, it has to be said. And I think one of the issues actually involves the way a bike actually handles. In a game, you know, in real life, you know, you'd see the corner, you'd shift your body weight, prepare for the corner, lean in. That's a whole process. I think in a game world, you have a stick and you lean in the corner. Do you have a bike that goes like that, which is immediate, and that way there'll be no mistakes and over and understeer and everything else? A bit like the Namco games from years ago. Played really well, but they're arcade games. Or do you have something that includes physics and suspension and weight distribution and everything else, and how that has to work? And that's why you end up with bikes that either sort of move around a lot in different games, or the delay in control, which means the way the biker leans his weight will alter the bike in the corner, and that's why you end up with that kind of movement in the corner, because if you didn't have that, you just have bikes going off everywhere. I think trying to simulate everything is a difficult one unless you're really good at the games and you appreciate where the exact breaking point is. It's very hard trying to build in that room for error. So I can see where the developers are going with it. Certainly a simulation from what I'm seeing, and I will be making some videos in the coming weeks and about MotoGP and going into all of that stuff, so you can look forward to lots of content from me on that one. The other thing, they've released a top 10 bikers from last year. Well, they made them anyway, didn't they, for the demo, so they might as well just throw them in there. I think that was the idea behind that one. If you want to be Ben Spies on a Yamaha, feel free. There's always an opportunity to I shouldn't say it really, crash, but Project Cars, let's talk a bit about that for a moment. You know, Project Cars does look amazing. Obviously, we see community screenshots all the time. It looks incredible. Still got a year in development to go. They've had their ups and downs with the FSA. We don't know all about that stuff at the moment, but certainly the game is coming along leaps and bounds. I know people talking about the physics side of it. We know the physics have improved an awful lot since the early version, and the developers claim that we're not even halfway there yet. We've got a long way to go. So I think if you're playing Project Cars and you're looking at the development and you've got an open mind towards it, I think it's getting a bit of a backlash, really. It's interesting how sim racing communities are sort of anti different games. You know, it's a bit like a fanboy community of fighting game fans, really. You've got those who liked Street Fighter, those who liked Mortal Kombat back in the day and hated each other's game, and yet it's all part of the same genre. The ultimate objective is everybody wants the same thing: cars that handle like real cars. And if they achieve that, they're onto a winner. But talking of which, there's been a really interesting interview which has gone up on the VV website, and a link will be below this video. Check that out. Joe Barron, he's gone into depth with Andy Tudor onto where the game is going. Really interesting interview there. If you're a big fan of Project Cars or you're interested in finding out more about it, check it out. Looks absolutely stunning. We've also had a Power Slide interview. Power Slide isn't a game we got a chance to review. We weren't sent any code on it. I had a go on it. I thought it was good fun. Overhead perspective WRC action while we look forward to the next in the series of WRC games. Certainly on live arcade and online multiplayer, it's a fair bit of fun as well. And this interview goes into a bit more depth about the game and what's it all about. So that's it for the key news this week that I've been working on and that the guys at VV have been working on site. Do check the site out, come on the forum, say hello. It's always nice to have people there, and I'm always happy to answer all of your questions as well. In the next few weeks, I've still got these Grid 2 videos, which I've got to finish off. So lots of Grid 2, lots of MotoGP, and some other stuff as well that we're planning for the summer. So I'm hoping that very soon you're going to see a great increase, not only in the quality of the content, but also in the amount of content that we're putting out as well. So certainly a lot of work going on. Some of that probably you won't see until after E3, perhaps around July time, but there's certainly a lot in the pipeline, and it's going to be some exciting steps forward for the channel. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more from me very soon.